All right, this is episode 1 of the Patriots Podcast. We recorded the first 3 episodes in the summer, so don't get confused. Yes, the school has started, but we're going to talk to Anslee and Anna about their summer and the things that they learned and the things that they did and the books that they read. And then we're going to talk to the captain of our ship, Mr. Hatfield. So sit back and relax and enjoy episode 1. Hello and welcome. I'm Miss Lott, and this is the Patriots Podcast, and this is episode 1, the very first episode. And I have 2 very special friends here who have agreed to be my first guests. Woo! So I'm going to let them introduce themselves. So please say your first names and what grade you're going into next year.
My name's Anna, and I'm going into 2nd grade. My name's Anslee, and I'm going into 3rd grade.
All right, girls. Thank you so much for being here. Are y'all having a good summer?
Yes.
Yes, they're saying yes. But are you ready for school to start next year?
Yes.
They say yes. We'll see. All right. So I've got some questions for these friends. So I'm going to start with Anna because she's sitting next to me. You want to stand up? All right, Anna, first. They've talked to their moms about this, so they've kind of gone over their questions with their moms. Anna, do you know what a podcast is? Have you ever heard of a podcast? You never heard of a podcast before? Okay, so my young friends who are listening to this who've never heard of a podcast, maybe your moms and dad listens to podcasts out there. There's things that you can watch or listen to and on your iPhone or your iPad or your laptop. And usually it's to learn things or be entertained. This one is going to be about PRES. All right. Now, I wouldn't be Miss Lott if I didn't ask this question. Anna, what is a book title that you've read recently?
That's Not My Unicorn.
That's Not My Unicorn. Oh, yeah. We love unicorns around here. What was it about?
It was about a mouse trying to find its unicorn.
A mouse trying to find its unicorn. Did you like it?
Yes.
Yes. What is something that you have learned this summer? What is something you learned this summer?
How to ride my bike.
How to ride your bike? That's so awesome. Did you did you have training wheels and you took them off, or you just what happened with your bike?
I took them off.
You took the training wheels off? That is so awesome. I love that. All right, last question. What is something you want to tell our listeners? Now, it could be a joke, it could be a story that you want to tell them, or it could be something that you're good at or something that you've done this summer. Anna, so what's something you want to tell our listeners?
When you learn something new, you never give up.
Oh, that is such a good, that's such a good thing to tell our listeners. Say that one more time. Say it again because I love it.
When you learn something new, you never give up.
Never give up, guys. Never give up. All right, Anslee, y'all want to switch places? It's your turn, my friend. You've gotten so tall. All right, Anslee, do you know what a podcast is? Have you ever heard of a podcast?
No.
So you've never heard of a podcast. So this is your first time being on a podcast. Speak a little louder, okay? Remember? All right, what's a book? You remember, this is Miss Lott. I'm the librarian, so I got to ask this question. What's a book title that you have read recently?
I have read Dragon Girls.
Oh, that's a good series. I just bought that for the library recently. And did you like it?
Yes.
What's it about? What's that series about?
About 3 dragons, and they have to find ingredients to make the sun brighter.
Cool. All right, what is something you learned or are learning this summer?
How to do a round-off back handspring.
Oh, I wish this was a video podcast so Anslee could show us how to do that. That's awesome. Miss Lott would hurt her back if she did that. All right, our last question, what is something you want to tell our learners, Anslee? It could be a joke, a story, or something you are good at, or something you did this summer.
I went to Germany this summer.
Awesome. What was your favorite part of Germany?
The chocolate place.
The chocolate place. Did you get a lot of chocolate?
Yeah.
Like Charlie and the Chocolate Factory?
Yeah.
Awesome. Thank you so much, Anslee. And Anna, thank you for being my first guest. Do you want to, Anna, come over here and y'all both say bye to our, come over here. Let's see. You want to say bye at the same time to our listeners? 1, 2, 3.
Bye.
All right. We are back with another guest. And since this is our first episode, I thought it was appropriate to kind of have our captain of the ship, Mr. Hatfield. Hi, Mr. Hatfield. Thank you for being here.
It is a pleasure. I appreciate the invitation.
So I have a couple questions. Well, not a couple. I have like 7. But my first question is, we're both not from the Pike Road, Montgomery area.
Mm-hmm.
So I was kind of wondering if you could give like a short little bio on where you're from so that our learners and our parents can kind of get to know you.
Yeah. Well, I moved to Alabama when I was 13. A little town called Andalusia, which is south central Alabama. A big adjustment from the West Coast. I was born in California and spent my first 12 years there. So we moved to Andalusia when I was 13. I started as a 7th grader at Strawn High School and graduated there from Strawn and stuck around. I was a sports person in high school, and so I went to the local junior college and pitched, played baseball, and then eventually transferred to Troy. I moved to Dothan and went to and finished my undergraduate studies at Troy and Dothan, and so that's a nutshell as far as my journey to Alabama from California and then through college.
Okay. And why did you want to be a principal, if you will?
Yeah, that was something that just kind of happened naturally or just sort of organically. I'm not one to set a specific goal necessarily. I didn't wake up one day when I was 22 and say, hey, I'm going to be a principal, or when I was 12 for that matter, and say my goal is to be a principal. It's just something that as you grow and you develop and learn and evolve as a person, you just find certain passions. And of course, to be a principal, you typically start as a classroom teacher, and just so that journey, my experience with various leaders and schools and professionals and children, it just kind of became something that I thought was, of course, something I would enjoy. Of course, everyone hopes that they do well in what they choose to do, but yeah, just drawn to the mission and the goals and the journey of what it means to be in a building with professionals and with children who rely on us every day to just provide, serve various roles. So it's one of those. It's a challenge, but it's so rewarding. It just kind of happened, and here I am.
My mom is always asking why, don't I want to be an admin? And I'm like, I don't, Mother. I know it's a challenge. So I commend you, Mr. Hatfield. All right, what's your favorite thing about being a principal at PRES?
I think just being part of something bigger than just me. For example, it's about the community. This school serves roughly 950 children, which means probably 800 and so different families, and so it's the energy is so positive. We have the same end game in mind, which is a nurturing, loving, supporting environment in which our kids can explore and learn. So that's, again, when I look back, this will be my 4th year at Pike Road Elementary, and one thing that has not changed is just simply the determination and the passion of our team of lead learners, of our parents, our community, our kids. The goal is the same, and that's very inspiring to me, and a lot of fun to be a part of.
Awesome. Well, I know a lot of our learners are surprised when they learn that we don't live at school. What do you do when you are not a principal?
Well, and just a bit that I may have skipped over as far as the biography in me is I've got my wife and 2 kids, right? We live in Pike Road, and so when I'm not a principal, I'm playing with kids and being a dad and being a husband. I personally I love baseball, still watch baseball when I can. Um, you know, I don't go enough, but I enjoy when I can to go watch the Biscuits play. Like most people, I like to travel, and I like the beach. I like to read. And yeah, so I go to the grocery store just like anyone else, and I go to Home Depot. There's probably never a time we don't go out and see some of our either current learners or past learners or their families. So yeah, I'm just like anyone else.
Well, one of those answers goes into my next question. I wouldn't be Miss Lott if I didn't ask this. What is the last book you read?
Okay. So aside from some of the professional reading that we all do over the summer, right? So the last book I read, cover to cover, was Atomic Habits, James Clear, and it's a pretty simple approach to creating habits in your life to sustain change and improvement, outcomes. So whether it's maybe time management or spirituality, finance, it's just one of those. As we joke in our house, we like to stack habits. It's not easy, but it was certainly a book to make you reflect and think, okay, if I want to change the way I spend my time, or if I want to improve in a certain area, you got to unlearn some things and relearn some ways to go about that. So yeah, that was a 2 thumbs up for me, Atomic Habits.
Awesome. All right. What is something you learned this summer?
I can name a couple things that I haven't learned or that I'm in the process of learning, and I've begun to take some online Spanish courses, lessons. It's an app, and so I'm tinkering with that, and just to grow my ability to have conversation and know the language a little better. Also, I've had an acoustic guitar for probably 10 years, and it sits there and collects dust, and so I've tried to create some time to tinker with that, just to again, as you said, learn new things and stretch my ability in some of those areas. Sure.
Awesome. All right, our last question for today. What did you want to be when you were younger? What did you want to be when you grew up?
I think like most kids, I loved baseball, loved sports, so I thought I'm going to be in the major leagues, no question. And when you only throw 87 or 88 miles per hour, that's not typically going to be your landing point. So then I thought, all right, if I'm not going to be a Major League Baseball player, I'm going to be an official scorer. And there's 32 Major League teams. There's only 32 of those jobs in the world.
Oh wow.
So probably not so much. That was my childhood thing. Was obviously is baseball. That was my favorite sport, and then I settled into my own reality, and pursued this profession, the education profession. So I'm happy for it.
Well, thank you so much, Mr. Hatfield, for being our first lead learner guest. We appreciate you, and I hope you have a good day.
I appreciate it. Yeah, thank you for the time, and it was good chatting with you.
All right, thank you.
Mm-hmm.
That was episode 1. Thank you to Mr. Hatfield and Anslee and Anna and their mamas for bringing them up here over the summer. For all you parents out there, make sure to join PTA. You can follow the school at Pike Road ES on Instagram for information. And I can't wait for episode 2. Bye.